Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more oxygen not included in the Dupe Troupe. Alright, so we're desperately trying to cool this base down with a bunch of Wheezewort. I think we're starting to see some of that happen. Little bit by little bit. It's really difficult to cool down the air, it's turning out, just because this stupid water sieve really is that powerful. If I really wanted to cool down the oxygen, I could actually move these into separate rooms entirely and try to really cool these pipes down. And it might even work, I'm not too sure. One other idea that I did have, though, and it might actually be crazy enough to work, I'm not sure yet, is to place down a few mesh tiles. I guess we can use our golden amalgam, I got plenty of that. What we're going to do is we're going to place down a few mesh tiles over here, and I'm going to try to use those ice sculptures that I was making fun of before. Increasing decor and reducing stress, but why bother? Because it's just going to melt. Yes, and when it melts, it's going to be very cold water. So what we actually might be able to do, I want to see if this works, is plant a couple of ice blocks here, have our artist go and practice his art skills, and then when it melts, it's going to drip cold water in here and try to even out the temperature a little bit. I don't know. It's the only thing I can think to do with any of the ice, and we have plenty of it right now, so I figure, what the crud, we might as well. What are you doing? Go elsewhere to breathe if you're having trouble, you fool Sans. While we're getting all that set up, one thing I think we should consider doing is starting up a pinch of pepper plant farm. Why? Because all of the high-level food really is going to require pinch of pepper plants at some point, and really, if we want to get everyone up to the maximum level of jobs, we're going to need that little extra bit of morale. So I think now might actually be a good time to do that. All we'd have to do, for example, is use my bristleberries plus the pinch of pepper plants, and we can make stuffed berries, and that's plus 12 morale. If we could find a way to actually farm or at least get enough of this sleet wheat, we could also make some pepper bread, which is also pretty good. So yeah, I think that would be something that's worth doing today. I am a little concerned that they require phosphorite as a fertilizer, and if that's the case, then I think you have to actually, you have to actually farm up some Drecos, because they excrete phosphorite. You can mine it, like, naturally as well. There's a whole bunch right here, for example, in the caustic biome. So we don't have to do this immediately, but long-term, if we want to have a pinch of pepper plant farm, gosh, that's hard to say, then you have to get our Dreco ranch at the same time. Okay, so the ice block is down. You can see it started off at like negative 40 degrees Celsius, and it's gradually ticking up. So, let's see. Melting point in the standard international units will be, what, 0 degrees Celsius? So actually, this thing should start melting in a while. You know, it's going to take a bit. It's actually not increasing in temperature nearly as fast as I might have expected. But on the plus side, even if it doesn't melt very quickly, it is cooling down the air around it. So strategically placing these ice blocks, theoretically, actually could do something to cool off our base. What do you know? Who's suffocating? What are you doing? Sans? Gosh dang it, you're so stupid. So annoying that he doesn't understand how to find a tiny pocket of oxygen. He's like, wait, there's one there. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, and no, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Now Eric's doing the same dang thing. Go up here! Hey, Lucario, go into this new area right here. I want to know what's going on. Ooh. All right, we found a comfy bed and a locker. Rummage through it. Lucario, is that an option? Will you do it for me? Yeah, you will. I think someone may need to stand on this. Or can I just change it? Oh, what do you know? Rather than actually have someone stand here, you can just change the thing. And it actually works. Okay. Well, we found a warm sweater. Not really sure what I'm going to do with that. Also a comfy bed. That's kind of nice. I could deconstruct that. Also a clock sensor. Huh. Sets an automatic active and standby schedule. Well, what is the point, just to turn on lights at the right time? That doesn't seem useful to me at all. And an actual clock, too. It's also made out of neutronium. Everything they really don't want me to take down is going to be made out of neutronium. Alright, new codex entries, apparently. Lovely. Still don't know what to do with that. You know, I just realized there's another geyser right here. Huh. You can tell because there's these 4 blocks of neutronium right here. Kind of like there is under this geyser. I'm very curious what it would unleash for us. Anything good or really bad? This may be one of those cases where it's actually worth save scumming to make sure we don't get something terrible like, I don't know, hot steam geysers and just render this entire area unusable. That would be a disaster. Okay, so I've gone ahead and carved myself out a nice little room right here and insulated it completely using abyssalite. Abyssalite, of course, having extremely low thermal conductivity means that we really should have no heat losses in this area entirely. which will be quite good for my pinch of pepper plant farm, which does require a fair bit of heat. We can see right here that the body temperature has to be between 35 and 85 degrees Celsius. So we want it to be relatively warm in here and not lose much. It's one of the reasons I did build this in the caustic biome, because it starts at a good 30-something degrees Celsius. Should not be that very difficult with a couple of space heaters to warm things up even further. Space heater like one here and one over here, with maybe a single thermal reader right up top. And then what we're going to do is place a bunch of hydroponic farms. Now, pinch of pepper plants have to grow upside down, so we're going to have to place them all kind of like this. And I think I want to leave a space in the middle for my thermal sensor. So that should be fine. And then you have to plumb it all. Now, if we plumb it using polluted water, which is what I am setting up over here, I don't think that this requires any special fertilizer, although maybe it still requires some phosphorite. I'm not too sure. Either way, I've mined out a lot of phosphorite, so I guess we can kind of test that out. But yeah, that way we don't ever have to ferry any water up into the farms. It just kind of automatically happens. Oh, good news! Another ice biome. Wonderful. And actually, you know what I'm realizing? Is both of our geysers are relatively close to an ice biome, which means we actually could radiate some heat in this direction if we wanted to. Turns out, by the way, that this was a steam vent, a proper steam vent, which means this water is going to be fantastically warm, emitting steam 76.4 grams per second at 500 degrees Celsius. Yep. Yep, it's a lot warmer than the cool steam vent, which I much preferred. Can we, like, just wall this in somewhere so I don't have to deal with it? I mean, I know that the water's going to get down here into the ice biome. It's probably going to melt a lot of ice if I had to guess. But yeah, we don't want this thing working forever. But yeah, two steam sources next to each other in a big ice biome. If we created a giant radiator structure here, that would cool the water off. It also would completely melt the ice biome eventually, over the course of like another 100, 200 cycles. So that's the trade-off, but it would work. Now, we do have the slight problem that I don't have enough air pressure actually inside of this thing. I don't know if it matters what kind of gas is in here. It just has to have a certain air pressure. So, if we wanted to get an air pump of just about anything, honestly, polluted oxygen, regular oxygen, hydrogen, I don't care, and just pump it in here until it gets kind of to its maximum pressure, that would probably be fine. And to that extent, as a temporary solution, what I'm going to do is just place a quick little gas pump here with a little gas vent, like, let's say, here. We're just going to run this thing in. I don't really care that much. Once it gets to about, I think, 2,000 grams per tile, it automatically should stop and not put anything else in here. So we're not going to waste a lot more air. We're not going to waste a lot of power. But anything to at least get this thing up there. Now, we do need some fertilization still, which means we do still need the phosphorite, which means we probably do need to ranch up some Drecos, which I'm not really looking forward to that much. So Drecos, if I understand correctly, do require a... Yes, their backsides are covered in thick woolly fibers that only grow in hydrogen climates. But it doesn't have to be entirely hydrogen. I think you actually can have kind of like a partial hydrogen climate, and it will work just fine for them. To that extent, the very top of my base right here is actually already kind of ideal. It's got a partial hydrogen atmosphere, some oxygen, relatively good temperature. All in all, not that bad. The main trick with the Drecos is they can only eat food off of live plants. You can't just give them the meal lice, you have to have them actually eat off of meal wood. Which means if we're gonna feed them, we need to go ahead and get another set of farm tiles up here just as their food source. Which I find a little bit irritating, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. That would get me the phosphorite farming that I require. Not sure it's a super high priority because I should have plenty of phosphorite as is, but eventually we are going to need that. Okay, there we go. Now we're just going to go ahead and pump out some of the air. Yes, it's my precious, precious oxygen, but oh well. We should be seeing the air pressure gradually increasing up to about 500 grams now and still going up. Yeah, this should be pretty easy here. So the good news is we're definitely increasing in temperature. The space heaters apparently have a maximum temperature of like 100 degrees Celsius that they're allowed to reach personally. But because we are in an abyssalite insulated room, I think the temperature should continue to spread in here pretty consistently. We just need a little bit of time. And it looks like we actually are already Well, maybe not. I was going to say maybe we were already kind of at our maximum pressure, but it does not look like that's the case. It looks like maybe our wires got broken right here. Which is very irritating to me, but okay. Uh-oh. Looks like we're running out of polluted water once again. Oh, gosh. Alright, we need another source. Let's go find one. Do we feel like we were stabilized enough that I could justify picking up another dupe? Maybe, especially if we could get another digger. Because I have been having some trouble with a really good digger. Alright, guess what? You get to be named Roman. Welcome to the team. Hopefully you will prove to be more of an asset than some of your, I don't know, compatriots. They've kind of disappointed me. So if we're going to make this work, let's go ahead and get a Dreco farm sort of set up like so. My thought is I can reuse the plumbing that already exists for the hydroponic farms down by the pinch of pepper plants. We can use those to grow just some simple meal lice. It doesn't have to be anything exciting. What broke down here exactly? Well, it's made of gold amalgam. Is a hydroponic farm made of metal? I didn't think it was, but maybe it is. Oh yeah, it is. Huh. Well, what do you know? Anyways, yeah. So if we go ahead and do this and then ranch and wrangle up a couple of Drecos up here, I think that should be all that we need. So let's go to stations. A shearing station would allow us to get, you know, the extra fibers and stuff, which I guess is okay. Let's see. Caring for the critters. I guess we can do these. And we need something that will allow us to drop off the Drecos. There's a button for it. Critter drop off right here. Those are the things that we need. Huh, interesting. For some reason, this is not considered to be a room, and I'm not sure why. It's saying it's not enclosed, but it is. I wonder if hydroponic farms do not count anymore for some reason. The regular farm tiles do, but maybe hydroponic does not? A little weird, but if I were to plant just a couple of tiles like so, would this solve the problem? Maybe. Aw, the poor Dreco looks so unhappy. He's like, gosh dang it, they did it. I thought for sure that I could trust them and they weren't going to hurt me, but no, they did it. They freaking tied me up. Gosh darn everything. That's just kind of the attitude that I can see in their eyes. Why do they have the stupid goat eyes? I will say, goat eyes terrify me. Those weird, like, horizontal slits for their iris. Ugh. Disturbs me to no small amount. Alright, so we do have a stable. Hastens critter domestication. Great. They should be automatically eating up mealwood as it grows, so no big deal. And we have a shearing station and a grooming station ready to go too. So there we go. Technically, we now have our source of phosphorite. Oh, look, we have a tiny little baby stone hatchling. Oh, it looks so happy and cute. It's a tiny little baby. Happiness goes up just for being a happy little tiny baby. That's kind of cool. All right, so these stone hatches then that I'm trying to breed up, they can have a chance to lay a smooth hatchling egg. That's what I'm looking for, because if we can get some smooth hatchlings that can automatically refine my metal, no reason to go for a refinery. I mean, we could build one, and I do know how to do that. Where'd the natural gas come from? Ooh, okay. Wait, there's more here too. Where do we find some natural gas? I lost my train of thought. But the orange gas that's now floating through my base struck me as somewhat more important. What the heck? Is this what Drecos look like when they've been sheared? Oh, look at their poor little inflamed bottoms. Oh, I feel bad now. Ooh, I just realized that somebody's immune system is really low. Cybern Master, where are you? There you go. Where are you going? You're going through places that are apparently filled with germs. And it is killing your immune system. Hang on. I want to see you. So if we go to germs here, you can see you have 9,000 germs. It doesn't feel like that many in the grand scheme of things. But it's enough that it's reducing his immune system by 21% per cycle. So his body is automatically fighting off some of the stuff. Ah, it's the food poisoning that's getting him. What have I done that's giving you food poisoning? Uh-oh. Apparently the microbe musher has some food poisoning, and so does the refrigerator. Which is going down in the number of germs, but that's still a little concerning for me. Huh. My water supply has been horribly infected. Grand. Okay, so the germs are exceptional. They are supposed to be going down, but maybe it's because of the ice sculptures that I created. Oh, I wonder if that's it. I wonder if I pulled them from the wrong kind of a place, and they had germs on them, and now I've contaminated my water supply by accident. That would be truly unfortunate because they are growing in number, and I'm not too sure what to do about that. It says the change rate is minus 18 per second. That does not appear to be true. It appears to be only getting worse. Okay, so maybe we need to disinfect a few things. Like that, for example. All of this needs to be disinfected. Anything to try and reduce the spread of the germs would be good right about now. Because if it's gotten into my food supply, then this is going to be a pretty severe problem. Well, in anticipation that our immune system is going to be a problem, let's go ahead and finish off this video by building up a med bay. For this to work, we're going to need to have a medical bed, a toilet, a mess table, and no industrial machinery in a closed-off room. This will probably do just fine. So we'll go ahead and place our walls, a pneumatic thing. We need a toilet, you said? So, okay. Probably a basic lavatory would be fine. Plus a sink, of course, so we don't continue to spread anything. And then we would need a medical bed. And you said a mess table, I think. So this is what we would need to properly quarantine somebody. Now, instead of a medical bed, what I could do is build up the pharma chamber, which requires a bit of refined metals, but it would work. Still, I think for now at least, a med bed should be fine. Of course, I say should be. These days, I never really feel like I know for sure of anything. Let's go ahead and place those. And then a liquid bridge this way, I think. The dupe. And, oh gosh, this is going to be a little bit tricky. Liquid bridge going this way. Fine, we'll do it like this. It's a little bit stupid, but if it works, it works. I think the other thing we're going to have to do, unfortunately, is build up an apothecary. Which we can place right here, at least for the time being. And all we should have to do is run up, I think, some lily balm and maybe one other ingredient. I can't remember for sure. That will allow us to create some vitamins, which we can then tell only Cybermaster to eat. I mean, the placebo also is a thing, but I'm not sure I see much point in doing that. So I don't want just everybody eating up the vitamin chews, though. It's going to be kind of important that people don't just eat all the vitamins. I want it to go to specific people. So I'm going to make sure we turn this off, and I will manually decide who does and does not get it later. There's the vitamin chews. It takes coal. Ah, yes, okay, like charcoal. So that you can, you know, absorb poisons and stuff. Plus the balm lily flower. I'm going to build at least a couple of these if possible, but it says right now I don't have any balm lily, which is a bit of a problem. There's some right here. So if I'm willing to go ahead and let the chlorine into the base, this would work. Which I guess we're going to have to do. Oh, gosh. All right. Ladders on up. And let's plant a few more of these pincha pepper plants. Like so. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and try to deal with this, but I suspect Cybermaster is going to be our first casualty in a while. I'd like to go ahead and assign this preemptively to you. If you're willing to quarantine yourself, that'd be great. No, you don't want to do that? Okay. Under the weather. Weakened immune system will become ill if it reaches 0. Yes. The germs are going down. You're not supposed to be up here anymore. I thought I specifically said you weren't allowed to go through here. How did you get out? I don't know. You went down somewhere. Did you go all the way through here? Oh, you went through this door. Cybermaster, always looking for a way around the problem. You knew full well what I meant. Don't leave the base and get yourself any sicker. But no. It occurred to me I actually should include a tile right here. Just in case whoever gets sick starts throwing up, we wouldn't want to have polluted water dumping into the base now, would we? So the problem definitely is something with my polluted water down here. I'm guessing that's what happened as it got through there. It's now gone through the water purifier system, and yet here it is still inside my water pool. I just don't know where it came from inside of the polluted water. as far as I can tell, none of the stuff that I have pumped in had germs in it. As far as I can tell, anyway. Doesn't mean that I'm right. So I don't really know how you get rid of that. The only thing I can think to do, maybe, would be to include a small storage container inside with some bleach stone and see if it kind of naturally starts to clean out the water supply. I don't know if in some way that would, like, ruin the water. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. It's the only thing I can think of. Cybermaster did not contract the food poisoning, shockingly enough. He got infected by slime lung. Did you get rid of all of your... food poisoning germs? Like, when you get one particular type of sickness, does that change things? I don't know. Alright, you now need to go to our handy-dandy, brand-new med bay. This sink needs to be finished up ASAP, so we actually can have a proper med bay. Quarantine the sick duplicants. Yeah. I don't know if it actually makes anything better, but it's worth a shot. Lucario is also having a lot of problems. Where's Lucario? You're around somewhere. Is that you? There you are. What do you have? Nope. Person. Food poisoning, again, going down. Slime lung going down. But your immune system's already pretty low. Well, we'll see. One thing I did do is turn off the microbe musher. I'm fairly confident that one of the reasons the food poisoning is spreading around is because we were using contaminated water to put into the microbe musher to make the lice loaf. So by not making that anymore, I'm hoping that we are making this a little bit cleaner. We'll go ahead and continue to disinfect these things, though, and just kill off whatever we can. Cybermaster, you really do need to go here. Oh, he's going to keep spreading around the slime lung. See, this is the thing that's really annoying about slime lung. They can only take, like, 2 steps before they start sneezing everywhere. They're really annoying. Why is there not an option in the game to actually have, like, whoever's doctoring just deliver food up here? They're not actually quarantined. You know? So Cybermaster's going to get some food. He's sneezing all over the darn place. Disgusting. Now he's going to take it all the way up here, but he's sneezing the whole way. Wee, 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 all the way home. I mean, I should be sad for the poor guy, but I'm really not. And he dropped the food. Are you freaking serious? He ran out of oxygen and he dropped the food all the way down here. Well, now it's gonna be contaminated. So Cybermaster, in the meantime, does have a critical illness, which means he would die if he had not received medical care. He dies in 8 cycles if he doesn't get any treatment. He has received medical care, so in about 3 cycles, he's gonna be fine. We could speed that up a bit if we put him inside one of those pharma chambers, but again, those are a little expensive, and I think we can live without Cybermaster for a little bit. Oh, it's just frustrating. Alright, so we need some bleach stone. I want to test this out and see if it works. Let's see. Hey, look! Bleach stone. Perfect. So after placing in the storage compartments with some bleach stone in it, it looks like after deconstructing it so the bleach stone just sits here, it is actually reducing the number of germs. Well, it was. Yeah, it's still going down a little bit, just kind of slowly. So simply having the bleach stone sitting here might actually be doing something. The water, for example, here. This one's not doing nearly as good. Maybe if I had more bleach stone, I'm not sure. Dying on liquid, 3% dead per cycle is not much. It says it should be going down, not up, but it looks like it is indeed going up. Clean water? I thought for sure clean water was not a suitable place for the germs, but apparently not. Huh. So yeah, maybe we need to just dump a bunch more bleach stone in here, but it does seem to do something at least in the polluted water. That's promising. Cybermaster is almost cured, just need to wait a few more seconds and he should be good. What does his immune system start at once he's done? Curative slime lung. Still starts at 0%, but it is gradually going up. So you have no germs of any kind right now, so that's good. Runaway patient. Tisk tisk, cannot receive medical care. You should be doing fine. I don't need you to be in the bed anymore. Alright, fine. So Cybermaster's cured. Immune system should be going up, but the more of these vitamin chews he can eat, probably the better things are going to be. In the meantime, Lucario and Sans are doing a little bit better, so yeah, the vitamin chews are working for them as well. Good. And we've almost filled out our entire pinch of pepper plant farm. We have 3 of these things working right now just because it's been a little hard, it turns out, to get enough heat in here, which really shocks me, given that this thing is so abyssalite insulated. We really shouldn't be having any problems increasing the temperature of these hydroponic farms, and yet for some reason, we have been. Don't ask me why. Let's go ahead and turn that thing off now that we have a bit more air pressure. We were having some problems there. Every time they open these doors, it's turning out to make things a lot worse, but there we go. All right, so food seems to be stabilizing at least a little bit, so that's good. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with all this meal lice because I don't want to put it through the microbe musher because I can't use any of this water, so that's going to be a small problem, but either way, let's go ahead and deconstruct this, drop the bleach stone in here again, and hopefully with just enough bleach in the water, we will be able to clear it out. Maybe, just maybe. And I am building out a trough in the ice biome. Once I cleared all the ice in this area, we should be able to run some radiators using probably wolframite as our liquid pipe here because this has very high thermal conductivity. And if we can do that using the steam that is generating, then we should have a source of very clean water that we'll use to supplant the one that we're using here, because this is now highly suspect. We'll come back to that later. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Give me some suggestions on how to deal with this. Am I on the right track? Because I'm not sure. And I will see you guys next time.